This episode is brought to you by DexPool.io. DexPool is an autonomous cross-chain liquidity protocol that lets you access liquidity sources from multiple platforms in one place. Their algorithm tracks prices to find the best deals and helps users identify the most effective routes for their trades. With no restrictions or hidden fees, you can execute transactions with ease and ensure a fair return on your trades. Register today and get a deposit bonus of 100 XRP tokens for a limited time only. Join the DexPool revolution for the highest decentralization and liquidity options in the DeFi game. Link in the description below.
Toshis, this my Toshis. Tune in and get the latest and greatest from stacking Toshis. This my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis? Yeah, this my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Tune in and get the latest and greatest from stacking Toshis.
Yeah, that's where you need to get the real news at. Stop messing with them lames out there. CBTV. Let me out of here. Pop.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Hey, ladies and gents, we doing it live. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis with yours truly, Crypto Blood. All right, flex bomb on that one real quick. So we got a couple TO people in the house. Toronto, all right. Triple F, thank you for tuning in. Shout out to her. Round of applause to TO 666 in the building. Hope everyone's doing well today. It's a sunny day here in Michigan. About time. I'm so excited to get some vitamin D in my life. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about today. Ripple has just showed their hand. Well, I don't know. We got some good news for you, Ripple XRP Army men and women. And it's and theys. But we also got, we'll take a look. I'll let you guys know. Stick around to the end. That's when I'll do the final article, which will be on XRP and what they're doing. All right, some good news, some bad news. We'll take a look at both. You be the judge. I'm just here to present the news. You got to connect the dots. All right, that's what it's all about. Before we get started, you know what the routine is. I need your help. Get that algorithm 16. Try some different time zones or times in my time zone to see if we can pick up a little more traction with the live streams. I do get more post streams, but I want to get more involvement and engagement during the live streams. Smack that thumbs up, punch that subscribe button, and ultimately what I need you to do is share this video on your social medias. If you can, on Twitter, that would be great. On Facebook, I'm not on Facebook, but if you're on Facebook, share this on Facebook to your friends and family who need to know the real news in the crypto space, not this emotionally driven, you're going to be a millionaire tomorrow. It's probably not going to happen, ladies and gents. I'm just saying. There's a couple hundred baggers out there left in the crypto space for sure. If you got lucky with Pepe Coin, round of applause to you. There are going to be some more out there. This is not the channel for that, though. I don't speculate on the meme coins and all of that. Go somewhere else for that. Get your thrills there. What I do here is give you information from a broader macro perspective in the crypto space and non-crypto space for you to tie it all together for more long-term investment strategies, so you can put something together for yourself. As you guys saw in the 30-second commercial, DexPool.io is running a promo right now. You get 100 free XRP as liquidity bonus. So meaning that, they'll give you that 100 XRP to trade with, and anything you make above that 100 XRP, you get to keep. All right. So check them out. I think the link is in the description of this video. I've told you guys in the previous video that I ran this commercial on. I'm a little suspicious on DexPool because they did not offer any social media outlets, any accounts, Twitter, Instagram, anything like Twitter mainly is where, we can get a gauge on the community and see what's going on. So just be cautious. I got to keep it real. I told him, I said, look, man, You're paying me money to sponsor you this Dex pool, but look, niggas ain't got no damn Twitter page. I'm like, what's going on? I'm gonna have to tell the people about that now. All right, So I'm just saying. So round of applause to CB for keeping it real. Dexpool.io though is the site if you guys want that 100 Fury liquidity bonus. We're gonna talk about Ledger. I have my suspicions and have for many years about Ledger. They've been doing some suspect things or have had some suspect things happen to their ecosystem where it's exposed clients' information. And if you look closely in their terms of service, you'll see some things that you really should not like. I exposed them back in 2017 and 18, I believe. It may have been 18, where their terms of services changed, and it said in there that when you communicate, when you like connect your ledger to the computer and you go to authenticate, okay, they are tracking and pinging your IP address and location. So why? What is that all about? That's no good. But they are doing that. That's something you need to be aware of. So today's word of the day is one. It's a doozy. It barely fit on the screen. Disapprobation. Say that again. Disapprobation. Basically just means strong disapproval, typically on moral grounds. So it just means a very strong disapproval. So what is disapprobation to you today or in this crypto space? What do you have a strong disapproval of? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know. You dig? All right, let's take a look at the first one. I don't know if you guys heard about it. I'm sure you did, but I never touched on it. And I wanted to give you my 2 Satoshis on this situation. This is crazy. So it looks like, or not looks like, I don't know if you guys knew last week, Ethereum had some outages. This is, you know, I'm always like ragging on Solana and other coins, but Ethereum is having its issues too. It's got some chinks in its armor. Ethereum Beacon Chain recently experienced 2 periods where finalization was delayed and an inactivity leak began. Although it was still possible to transact on Ethereum during these periods, the blocks were not yet immutable and could, under certain circumstances, end up reverted. So it wasn't an actual outage, but the finality had a pause. Finality meaning at the point where I think the finality for Ethereum, guys, is like 13 minutes or something like that. Let me know in the comments. I'm not sure exactly. I think it's around 13 minutes or 10 minutes finality, meaning at that point, it's impossible for that block to be changed, modified, and republished. So there were some issues with finality. The actual block didn't go down, but the exact cause of these incidents remain unclear. That's not good. However, both Prism and Tiku consensus clients have released updates suggesting that the issue might be linked to unexpectedly high resource consumption. So we'll see what happens with that. It's better to know what the problem is, because if you don't know, then there's always a worry that it could happen again. If you don't know what the hell the problem is, the issue could happen again without a solution to it. Next article, SEC. This is crazy. Again, these are the types of things they do, guys. They move the goalposts. They rewrite the laws. The game is rigged. The game is rigged, ladies and gents. It is rigged. And if you think that Ripple is going to win against this type of stuff, you got another thing coming, in my opinion. I'm just saying. So look, remember Coinbase came out, and round of applause to Coinbase. Mr. Armstrong over there, Brian Armstrong. I thought he was probably a sellout to Wall Street. I really did. When you go IPO and you get that big, and you have that much Wall Street money behind you and all of that, I typically see people fold or shift their ideologies. But I'm going to be honest with you. Again, kudos to Mr. Armstrong. He has been pretty above board in his ideology when it comes to crypto. Now, I think what's ultimately going to happen is that at some point they're going to kick him out. I don't think he has majority voting share, so the board can most likely remove him if they so see. But he has really been going at the SEC. He's gone so far as to sue them, which is something you really rarely see happen. BitSource says Gary Gensler is paid handsomely for doing the bidding of the banks. Not for long, though. BitSource, actually, shout out to him, because a few years ago, he gave me some exclusive content from Purse, I think it is. Help me out with her name. She was an SEC administrator. She had a high title over there at the SEC. Hester Purse. She's very pro Bitcoin and crypto, I believe. She's at the SEC. He gave me some exclusive content. I'll drop a link to that at some point. I don't know if he knew her or knows her, but I might need to go ahead at this point. It might be a good thing to get her on the channel if he can connect me with her. So I'll reach out to you, BitSource, for that. Yeah, very libertarian, he says. So Hester might be a good replacement. Let's see, though. You know, the powers that be, they don't why would they want to do that, though? That's the thing, guys. Anyway, I'm digressing. The SEC won't give into Coinbase's demand. So again, Coinbase sued them, said, hey, we had an open inquiry from 10 months ago that you guys just decided to just ignore for whatever reason. Well, we know the reason, but you decided to ignore it. And they're like, hey, you still have yet to respond to our request. And so they went ahead with the suit. And guess what? I think the judge said go ahead with it. It seems to be on good standing and justified to do this. And the SEC turned around. And I'm going to tell you exactly what they said here. But they, again, in July of last year, they submitted a petition and Coinbase argued that most of the tokens traded on its platform shouldn't be defined as a security. It also wants the SEC to define what tokens are classified as such, meaning which tokens are classified as securities. So they put this petition out, submitted it to them. The SEC didn't immediately reply to the petition, instead sending Coinbase a Wales notice urging it to comply with existing laws on its various offerings and services, including its staking services and the Coinbase Earn program. Eventually, guess what Coinbase did? They sued the SEC. Again, pretty unprecedented move, especially by a publicly traded company, to sue the SEC, requesting the Federal Appellate Court in Philadelphia to issue what's called a mandamus, which is uncommon legal mechanism whereby in certain circumstances a public entity is required to take a particular action in line with its statutory mandate. But guess what? The SEC's response? Well, this past Monday, the SEC claimed that Coinbase isn't entitled to a mandamus and that it should instead comply with existing laws. They went on to say the mandamus, the SEC said, is an extraordinary measure that requires the petitioner indisputable right to relief. Good God. So, like, they're just literally making up the rules. They're just making it up. It's very sad. But this is what we're up against. And you got to believe that the current administration, Biden and the folks, Sleepy Joe and the crew, aren't going to rein in the SEC. Why would they do that? Let's just use common sense here, guys. So this type of behavior is going to continue. Coinbase has threatened to up sticks and move up sticks. You mean like the blicky? No, I don't think they meant that. I think they just meant to move out of the U.S. Yes, that's been contemplated, and it should be, because this is becoming an environment here in the United States that is not conducive for any crypto company. So they're ultimately probably going to move majority of their operations out of the United States. They've already positioned themselves with a license in the Bermudas. I've covered that in previous episodes, so go back and watch that if you need to refresh yourself on that. The next one, though, is about the Ledger situation. Someone asked about it. So they've got this new service that people are very suspicious of, and is raising a lot of smoke over. So the company claims that its subscription-based quote-unquote ledger recovery service will give users extra peace of mind in the event they lose or forget their all-important seed phrases. All right? The issue is that you should never be exposing your seed phrases to the internet. And that is the number one rule in the crypto space. Never. I personally wouldn't sign up for this. I'm just giving you guys a heads up, because when you have the CTO or anyone saying that there is no way, no access, even for a very gifted hacker, when you say there's no way in the hacking world, that gives me the red flag right there. I would not listen to that person. And it's coming from their CTO, so he knows a few things, but evidently he's probably being pressured to fall in line with, I'm sure this is some type of revenue generating service, right? They got to try to churn out revenue. Can't just get it by selling hardware wallets. So I'm not a fan of this. This is how the recovery service works. So a user's ID is confirmed using official documents and a selfie recording. The Ledger Nano X duplicates their secret recovery phrase and encrypts the copy. The backup is then linked to the user's verified ID. Finally, this backup is split into 3 pieces, which are secured independently by Ledger, digital asset security specialist, CoinCover, and a third provider, which they're not saying who. Yeah, the need for the ID, though, that ID has drawn criticism from those who see such a move as being fundamentally at odds with the privacy first beliefs common in the crypto community. I'm in agreement with this. So, this is not the first time. Todd says NSA. Yeah, exactly. So you're telling me you want to take a photo ID, selfie, recording, official documents, probably want like my God knows who, my wife's father's third leg. Like, what do you want? Human sacrifice plus a selfie recording. So you want all this information that's going to be stored in a quote-unquote database? Yeah, for the NSA, as my man Todd said, for sure. Very suspicious. So, again, this is an attack vector, not for outside hackers, but for the government. I wouldn't do it. So, again, they're not new to issues, leaking data and all that type of stuff. Ledger isn't. The names and phone numbers and physical addresses were uploaded to RAD forms back in 2020. 300,000 users saw their details leaked. Okay, then they've had other issues, and again, I've told you, their terms of services changed to where they're actually pinging your IP address when you are attempting to log into your ledgers as well. So they're collecting all types of data. God knows who is getting it, but you can for sure know the NSA is, the government is, and that's one of the biggest enemies. Let's move on to some potentially good news for my Ripple XR she, XR he, XR they army. So looks like Ripple is going to, or the SEC is going to have to hand over those Hinman files, those emails. So the attention surrounding these emails drafts has been steadily growing, as they have been seen as a secondary narrative running parallel to the legal proceedings. The commission's reluctancy to disclose these documents led to speculation that the SEC might settle the entire case with Ripple to avoid their public release. But, so kudos, round of applause again for all the ripples, all the Ripple nipples. This is, you would think, a win for you. But again, when two things, when the rules are rigged against you, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter. They change, they move, and they disprove whatever they want. Okay? So this is, to me, nothing burger, to be honest with you. And secondly, this is the second thing. From my previous recordings and research I've done on these Hinman files, and I've actually done live streams on this subject before regarding the Hinman files, because it's been a back and forth with the judge, the SEC. They've been delaying. They wanted to delay. The judge gave them a delay to figure out what information was in there, because the SEC is saying that there's information in there that's sensitive, okay? And that's why they didn't want it to be disclosed publicly. But the issue here, guys, is that from my understanding, this cannot be used in the trial. So it's like, what's the point? These emails can't be used in the actual trial and given to the jury. So it really is a nothing burger here, guys. This is not going to be the linchpin in this case. I'm sorry. Sorry to rain on your parade there. All right, but at least you do know the Hinman files will be released, and I can't wait to see. I'm sure a lot of this stuff is going to be redacted, but can't wait to see what's going on there. Now to the final article for today. Again, make sure you guys take that opportunity before I get to it. Smack that like booty. Smack that face, whatever you got to do. Support CBTV. Share this live stream to your social media network. Twitter, Facebook would be greatly appreciated. All right, so make sure you smack that right now and share the video. Now to the final article, which is out of CNBC. This just came in actually earlier today, this morning. Crypto firm Ripple buys Swiss startup as SEC crackdown forces companies to consider overseas moves. Ripple is showing their hand, in my opinion, here, guys. Okay, and this is good that they're doing this. You need to be prepared and have a plan B. Yeah. If the pullout game ain't right, you make sure you have a plan B somewhere. Round of applause for that. No, but they need to have a plan B and a plan C. And this is potentially one of their backup plans to continue to move forward with the company, because Ripple, the company, is doing, they're doing their thing. They've been acquiring various companies, making investments in various projects and startups. So kudos to them. I'm not with the whole, we want a coin and a blockchain that's going to help the bankers. Yeah, we're going to help the bankers. Come on now. But, as a company, Ripple, they're doing their thing. Got to get credit where credit is due. And they're definitely trying to make moves in the blockchain world. Just not my cup of tea. Blockchain firm Ripple has acquired Medico, a Swiss crypto custody services firm, the company announced today. The deal is expected to bolster Ripple's product suite and give it access to an attractive roster of clients that includes Citi and BNP Paribas. It will also help the company increase its presence overseas at a time when it is fighting a lawsuit from the securities. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me back up. The Steal Every Coin Commission. I think this is a move that is very similar to what we saw with Coinbase. They're moving out. They're repositioning. Companies are leaving the U.S. Galaxy Digital, Mike Novogratz, gone. He's leaving. Coinbase, opening up in the Bahamas. Slowly repositioning. And now you're seeing Ripple with these types of acquisitions. This is a sign, potentially a sign on the wall that, hey, if they lose the suit, we can pivot and continue on in other countries. And I always have to reiterate, I know people, you guys are so simped out for XRP and Hex and all that. I don't really care. Okay, I'm just giving you the news, but I will say this about XRP. Not my cup of tea, but the coin is going to continue on. The XRP ledger, the blockchain, is going to continue to run. It's not like the government can shut it down. That is the beauty of, decentralized, quote unquote, blockchains and networks. They can't shut it down. But a loss against the SEC is going to be definitely a hit to the price of XRP initially, but over time the coins are still going to be there. People are still going to use XRPL, so it's not like it's the end of the world if and when the SEC wins against Ripple. Just saying, just keep that into perspective here. If you look at the library case, right, which there was an update with the library case. Now, instead of, let's see if I can bring that up really quickly. So this is some good news, actually. So if you look at the other day, I saw this and I meant to report on this, but so they are initially trying to squeeze library out of $44 million. Now they're only seeking 111,000. The agency freed the publishing network from most of its fine and have to give up any ill-gotten gains. I actually think the loss from this case was worse than the Ripple case. This was the case that I said, I threw up my hands and said, okay, I'm just done. Because this was the case where the SEC was saying that everything was a security. This is when they started really saying that on record. They also were saying that even if you didn't issue a token and it was issued by the community, and the community, just even a fraction of the community, was looking at this token as some type of financial benefit, then it's a security. Stuff like that. Like, they were saying these crazy things in this case, which to me just made the writing on the wall all so much clearer for any future cases. You even go back, like Reggie, they did Reggie dirty. SEC did Reggie Middleton from Veritasium dirty. But anyhow, back to the Ripple thing. Yeah, I just don't see this helping anybody in the future, because they're just going to rewrite the rules, and the game is rigged against us. It's rigged, in my opinion. So the SEC is now highly incentivized to settle with Ripple. Very bullish for Ripple. I don't think so initially. Like, maybe longer term, that news or that thing overhanging Ripple and the XRP token will be out of the way. So yeah, eventually we'll get a rally, but I think the initial news will be a drop in the price of XRP. Could be wrong, but hey, let's not forget that recent FDIC scandal. Exactly. What's my take on hash moving to BCH or BSV? I don't smoke hash, so I'm just playing, man. Just playing. I mean, more of the activity is moving over to Litecoin. So I mean, I'm looking at Litecoin and what they're doing in that ecosystem and how they're benefiting from all the issues that we're seeing surrounding the Bitcoin network. I'm looking at more of Litecoin than BCH and BSV at this point. Mr. Sakila in the building. Shout out to him. Round of applause. Guys, we'll see. Again, it's not the end of the world when XRP loses. I'm saying that so confidently. Oh, man. You're going to take a big hit initially. Then over time, it will, if they continue to build the ecosystem outside the United States, I guess the token will do well. I mean, but again, I don't know. I guess the narrative has kind of shifted with this XRPL ledger blockchain, where it's not specifically what Ripple wants to do with the ecosystem, is what the people want to do with the ecosystem. And, people can build what they want to build. I just was never for the whole theme of we're here to help the banks. No, we're not here to help the banks. We're here to eliminate the banks. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Catch me later today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will be a guest on Around the Blockchain. Come around and support a brother. All right. Thanks a lot. Again, Hit that thumbs up. Smack that subscribe button. We out of here, people. Holla.
This my two Satoshis who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis. Yeah, this my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Tune in and get the latest and greatest from stacking Toshis. This my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis who need 2 cents when they can get double from stacking Toshis. Yeah, this my two Satoshis. This my two Satoshis. Tune in and get the latest and greatest from stacking Toshis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where you need to get the real news at. Stop messing with them lames out there. CBTV. We out of here. Pop.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks! We'll do it live.
Okay.